Alright friends, so we are here for our last installment of Math Quarter 3 homework, moving right along to the end of Eureka Grade 5 Module 2, this time looking at dividing decimal dividends by two-digit divisors. As always, make sure that you're pausing and rewinding as you need, so that way you can have appropriate understanding and that you're able to work out the problems with me. And on that note, make sure that you have something to write on and write with. Alright, let's jump right into it. So if I have 77 divided by 22, okay. So let's start off. Let me make sure that I'm in a good color that you guys can see. Okay, so I'm going to have 77 divided by 22. Okay, I'm going to start like always. Can I put 22, or can I split 7/10 into 22 groups? No, not without decomposing. Let's go ahead and decompose into 77 ones. How many times can 22 go into 77 ones? I know it can go in 3 times, because 22 times 3 gives me 66. Okay, so I am subtracting and I get 11. Okay, previously we would have just stopped here. We're not going to do that. Now we're going to go ahead and start decomposing into our decimal place values in order to go ahead and get our quotient as a decimal to get a true representation of how much is in each group. So I'm going to go ahead and put my decimal point. So that way I remember that my decimal point is there. Try to make it a little bit bigger for us. And how many tenths do I have right now? Well, I would have 0 tenths, right? Because I just had 77. So I'm going to go ahead and decompose those 11 ones into 110 tenths. Let's put that into what we did. So I had 11 ones. I've now made that into 110 tenths. I know that's the same because 110 tenths would be the same as 11. Remember our zeros trick from before because I am dividing by a 10. All right, so now I have how many times does 22 go into 110? I'll let you know that's 5 times. 110. I have none left over, so I don't need to bring down any more place values. So my quotient is 3 5/10. Let's try another one. All right. Oops, hold on. There we go. Still getting used to this new program. All right, so now I have 14 7/10. There we go. 14 7/10, and I'm dividing by 21. Okay, now right off the bat, can 21 go into, or can I split 110 into 21? No. Can I split 14 ones into 21? No. So I'm going to go ahead and have to decompose this whole thing into 147 tenths. So now, how many times does 21 go into 147? Well, I know that 2 goes into 14 7 times, so let's go ahead and try that. But where do I put this? Oh, well, I have to put it over my tenths because right now I'm dividing tenths. So we need to make sure that that decimal is already there because, again, I'm already dividing by tenths. All right, 21 times 7, what would that be? Well, we can go ahead and work it out just to be sure, but it is 147. I have nothing left. So my quotient is 7/10. Again, I could not split my 1 into 21 groups. I could not split my 4 ones into 21 groups. I had to go to my tenths. 147 tenths divided by 21 gives me 7 tenths in each group. Let's go ahead and move and do one more. And I suggest that you go ahead and pause and try this one by yourself, and then we'll do it together. All right, so I have 140 25 hundredths, and I'm dividing that by 17. Okay, let's start it. Go up. Can I split 100 into 17 parts? No. I'm going to go ahead and put that 0 there so that way I remember. Can I split 14 tens into 17 equal groups? No, not without regrouping. So again, putting that 0 there. Can I do 140 into 17 parts? I sure can. Okay, so thinking about what that's going to be, well, I know that 20 times 7 would give me 140. 17 is less. So let's try 6. And let's see what I get when I do 6. Get 102. Okay, so I could probably do one more. I'm sorry, I should have done... No. Miss Moose game mixed up too. Okay, so let's go ahead and try 17 times 7. 7 times 7 is going to give me 9. 119. Oh, maybe I can do one more. Let's see. 7 times 8 is 56. I sure can. Okay, so I can do 8 groups, and that would give me 136. Okay, so I'm going to have 4 left. Now, here's where I'm decomposing that 4 ones into 42 tenths. How many times does 17 go into 42? Well, I know that it goes in 2 times. I'm now in my tenths place, so I'm making sure that my decimal is there, so that way I remember. 17 times 2 gives me 34. So now I have 8 left over. I can still decompose. I have 8 tenths. I'm going to decompose them into 80 hundredths plus that 5 from before, so now I'm at 85 hundredths. How many times does 17 go into 85? I think maybe 4 times. Let's see. Let's see what 17 times 4 would be. Lots of work goes into this. Okay, there we go. Would be 68 as I zoom in. All right, would be 68. All right, after we've cleaned it up a little bit. Okay, so let's try 17 times 5. 7 times 5 would be 35. Carry that 3. 1 times 5 is 5, plus those 3 tenths from before, 85. Okay, there we go. So it's going to go into it 5 times. And I'm not going to have anything left over. So my final, oh, friends, I keep on zooming in, don't I? So my final answer will be, goodness gracious. So my final answer will be 8 and 25 hundredths. That would be my quotient. All right, friends, I know that this is definitely the farthest that we've gone with our division, so definitely make sure that you pause, rewound, and ask me for help as you need, and go ahead and move on to your problem set.